You talk about it's not red versus blue, left versus right. I was in the administration of President George W. Bush, a Republican, and President Barack Obama, a Democrat. For me, it was all about the United States, national security. I worked issues related to terrorist threats against the homeland. When I went overseas to work in embassies in Madrid, Spain, Caracas, Venezuela, Mexico City, Mexico, it was working terrorism. It was working counter narcotics, organized crime, drug trafficking, and this thing I had never heard of, John Paul, called human trafficking. In the year 2006, I was ignorant. I thought this was prostitution. I thought it was the movie Pretty Woman and the Julia Roberts character. They made it seem like she decided when, how much, with whom. It's not true. There's always a trafficker, a pimp, a predator controlling. And so I love my government job. But a good friend of mine, and you had mentioned him a minute ago, Tim Ballard, I met him 23 years ago in the year 2000. He started briefly at the CIA and spent both the bulk of his career he spent with Homeland Security investigations. So first the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, we're working on the border. And they asked him to set up a child crimes unit. They asked him to set up, work on the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, to work on child exploitation and human trafficking that I know we're going to talk a lot on your show now. So he decided that to work that, but he was really constrained by resources, bureaucracy. He couldn't rescue any child that fell outside of the U.S. purview, just like you saw in the movie. Remember in the movie, the Jim Caviezel character is told, we're Homeland Security. We can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia. Well, he's a man of faith. He prayed. He felt that, well, no, I need to have something where I don't have those restrictions anymore, and I can go around the world and rescue. So he took a big leap of faith to start Operation Underground Railroad in 2013, 2014. And then he got me out of the CIA to join him. It was a big leap of faith because Uncle Sam was paying me faithfully twice a month. I had a government pension waiting for me in just 6 years if I stuck it out. I had access to government health care for the rest of my life if I retired. But I ended up resigning because I believe it's what we heard in the movie. God's children are not for sale. And I love when the Vampiro character, and we can talk about his real inspiration, is that one of our undercover operators named Batman. He says, when God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate. And I felt that's what I needed to do. So I took a leap of faith, 2014. I joined Tim in Operation Underground Railroad. I've done many different jobs in the organization for years on the operations side, aftercare, fundraising, marketing. And now I have the fortune to lead it as the president and chief operating officer. But we can't do it without people like you, people in your audience. So thank you, John Paul, for giving us this platform today. This operation happened almost 9 years ago, October 11th, 2014 in Colombia. Operation Underground Railroad called it Operation Triple Take, 3 cities in a 1-hour time period. Tim led the Cartagena Island rescue, and we'll talk about that. That was featured in the movie. Then the Vampiro character, if you know the Bill Camp character in the movie, his real name, codename Batman, he's an undercover operator. Back then, he was leading the Medellin operation, the second of the 3, and then I led the operation in the town of Armenia. So on that day, 3 cities, 123 victims rescued, 55 of them were confirmed minors, and we arrested 14 suspected predators and traffickers. Well, we were blessed on that operation to have CBS Evening News crew come with Tim to film it. And if anyone YouTube's Operation Underground Railroad and CBS Evening News, you'll see the original clip of that. Well, leading up to that, so that was October 11th, leading up to that in September, Tim had me come down with him and set up the Cartagena op. So those people in the movie, Fuego is a real person. Kelly, Katy Juarez, the Giselle character, her real name is Kelly Joanna Suarez. She's still being tried right now in Colombia for that. And then some of the others. So I met with them, and it's crazy now to see them, as I told you, writing the script to then the movie to actually see it take America. It's really gratifying to see.